What if you had access to all the cards? Unlimited power.
In Vintage, you play Magic the Gathering, but no cards are banned. These are the strongest and most explosive strategies ever.
Don't blink, games could end on turn 1.
You voted in our community tab for one deck to represent each year since Y2K, and we assembled 26 competitive players to play a tournament to qualify for the final rounds.
And now we finally have it. We have a top 8 of what could easily be the most powerful Vintage decks of all time.
And after 7 videos, we'll be finally able to crown the best Vintage deck ever.
Thoralf, I was taken out in the first quarterfinals by Andrea Mengucci, and I will not leave this tournament. But luckily, this time, I'm playing the memeiest deck that ever memed, and I'm pretty good at those.
I already won my quarterfinals, so I care even more to make it again to the finals twice.
Yes, in the last Best Deck Ever series, there's 2 Thoralfs in the finals. If you look, it's uncanny. There's exactly 2 Thoralfs in the finals. You're going first. Do you like your hand?
Welcome to the best deck ever Vintage Edition. I'm playing one of the best creatures in Vintage, Monastery Mentor. Monastery Mentor is basically a young pyromancer on crackling flames. And paired with this Monastery Mentor, we play a lot of cheap spells. Obviously, you have all the Moxen, but we play Gataxian Probe and Force of Will. I love my hand, but I also want to see if you love your hand, so I'm gonna probe you.
Maybe we both love our hands. You're gonna go to 18.
Look at target player's hand, draw a card.
I have a wonderful hand, and it has a Mox in it because we're playing Vintage, and we get to play with cards that are called Power 9. And they're extremely powerful, but they're also extremely expensive, so your wallet usually doesn't allow you to play these. This is the last bullet I have in the chamber. I lost in the quarterfinals. So if I lose this match, I am out of the tournament and I want to stay in. But luckily, I'm playing a deck that is exactly up my alley. In the late 90s and early 2000s, blue-based counterspell decks that would draw cards, kill everything, counter everything were the tier 0 archetype to beat. They were the strongest thing possible. And out of the mist and the waves came a deck called the $4,000 Solution. And all it did was meme on people. Because if your opponent counters everything you do and plays spells to draw a lot of cards, what about you just don't let them play spells? Stax is a deck where you destroy all of your opponent's mana, and then you make all of their spells more expensive, and then you just stare them down and hope they either leave the table out of boredom, or you eventually find a way to win. Sure, if you insist.
Good keep.
Thank you.
I would keep that as well. I'll draw a card. And then I'm gonna play an island.
You saw the Wasteland.
The safest land of all time. Go.
Because Wasteland destroys non-basic lands, so you played your basic land. Okay, I'm really sorry, Thoralf, but as you saw, my hand is very good. I'll play a Volcanic Island. It's like your island, but it's volcanic, so it allows it to tap for red.
You could wasteland it.
That would be a sick play if I've ever seen one. It would confuse the hell out of you, but instead, I'll welcome you to the format called Commander. Well, this is Vintage, but sometimes it cosplays as Commander because I'm playing Soul Ring. You can only play 1 in Vintage, like you can in Commander, but it taps for 2 mana.
I have responses. You know me, I like Soul Ring on my side of the board. So what I'm gonna do is I can't really promise that I'm going to cast Deck Fade next turn, and I don't want Carl to untap with that Soul Ring. So I'm gonna play Ancestral Recall now. If I draw one of the fast mana, I'm gonna let it allow, use it, and then steal it with Dark Faden. But unfortunately, if I don't find anything, I will have to use my force on that Soul Ring because I cannot let him have that for multiple turns. I will see my options. I'm gonna cast an Ancestral Recall.
Speaking of Power 9.
On myself, because technically I could force you to draw 3 cards, but I won't do that. That's rude. This is more Commander. So you're saying if you wasteland your own land,
I won't attack you for 2 turns.
No, I'm gonna draw 3 cards.
And you're doing Commander politics wrong.
Yeah. And then because I actually didn't draw what I needed, I have to Force of Will your Soul Ring. I will exile a blue card. It costs me 1 life, but for that very tiny price, I can counter target spell, which is a Soul Ring.
You were just jealous that I would have a Soul Ring and you would not. I'll show you my Mox. It's the second time I show you this game. Are you more impressed or less impressed?
More impressed.
Oh, I'm doing something right. I will then pass the turn to you.
Very good. You didn't do anything.
I played a Mox. And got rid of 2 of your cards, and you lost 1 life. If you do that 17 more times, the game is mine.
Okay, if I find the other 14 copies of my Force of Will, we can talk about it. I will play Fetch Land, and it's your turn.
Okay, so we are taking things slowly, because we're playing Vintage.
I have all the time in the world.
I could play the Sphere of Resistance, which would be a heavy speed bump for him. And I even have a Wasteland to get rid of one of his lands. But right now, the spells in my hand are kind of expensive. I don't have a lot of mana myself, and he would probably draw a lot more because he has more 1-mana artifacts. And in this game, when you're on the draw, so if Thoralf goes first and I'm going on the draw, I have a much worse chance of winning. And the way you break serve is that you flip the table on him. I need to get lucky, and I've already seen a Force of Will. And the chances of him drawing another Force of Will and a blue card are less than a coin flip. So we're not going to take the conservative route. We need to take our chances and try to go for an explosive play that will chokehold him. So we're going to play this Tinker, even though it sets it back a little. If it gets countered, it's really painful. But if it resolves, we can put him in a spot where he cannot win the game anymore. So this is Vintage, and it's a format that rewards you for being what at Magic?
Brave.
That is correct, but also...
Lucky? Lucky. I go for lucky.
See, it's really important to be good at Magic, to be good at Vintage, but sometimes it's better to be lucky.
Are you lucky or good?
Hopefully both. But today, I hope I'm lucky. I'll play a Tinker with this land and my Mox. Tinker is a sorcery that at the time I play it, I have to sacrifice an artifact. It will sacrifice this Mox Ruby, which you would think is terrible. But unbeknownst to you, actually beknownst to you, but unbeknownst to some of you, this is one of the best cards in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Tinker, after you sacrifice an artifact, allows you to search your library for any artifact card and put that card straight into play. You can't do anything about it afterwards because I know you don't have Source of Plowshare in your deck. I've thought of all my options, and that's the good part, hopefully. This is the moment I have to be lucky. Do you have another counter spell?
My hand is so good, my position is so good that that card almost doesn't matter. Unfortunately, almost is not good enough because I can only think of one single scenario where this card is a problem, and that is if Carl gets Sundering Titan. Unfortunately, Carl's a smart man and he's gonna make that decision, so that's very likely that he digs up that Sundering Titan and I will be left very sad. So that means even though we are winning in almost all cases because of our deck Faden, we will have to force the Tinker. So if you're lucky, but I'm luckier,
then that would make me unlucky, I believe. It's a double positive. It makes a
Unfortunate.
negative.
It's another Force of Will. Counter target spell, I exile another blue card, I lose another life.
Once again, my game plan.
Progress.
Unfortunately, along the way, I lost my Mox.
Well, I also lost a blue card, so we traded 2 for 2. In your Epster, I'm gonna thin my deck out.
Losing yet another life.
But also believe me, you are very sad about your Mox. I am sad too, because I'm gonna get a land and play a deck Faden.
Ah, because your deck could have stolen your Mox. You're going to have to explain this to the viewers because they might not know Dak Faden and his shenanigans.
As your deck is very powerful and very, very fast, this is the one card that beats you single-handedly.
Does he steal with 2 hands? Let's find out. There's a line of text on here that I particularly feel.
3 mana, 3 loyalty, Planeswalker. Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards.
That's okay.
For a -6, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell that targets 1 or more permanents, gain control of those permanents.
I would say that's pretty good.
And for -2, gain control of target artifact. We're gonna charge him up to Kamehameha, your next artifact. I'm gonna draw 2.
Kamehameha destroys. This is Kameinhameha.
I'm gonna discard 2 cards, and that's it.
So this is a tough spot, because any artifact I play, you're going to steal. I will play a spell that you might not want to steal. It's Chalice of the Void. This card is now restricted, but I get to play more than one because I am from the past. And this time traveler will read you the card.
Aren't we all from the past?
Yes, moving towards the future. And in the future,
Even if you tell me you're from the past.
I will read you this card.
It's okay.
Which says, Chalice of the Void enters the battlefield with X charge counters on it. And because it costs XX, if I pay 2, it'll enter with 1 charge counter. And whenever a player plays a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on it, I counter it. So now anything that costs 1 would be countered. Does this resolve?
It does.
Thank you. Now, if you steal it, it doesn't change anything because 1 mana spells are still countered.
No. I think your chances of winning are fading away.
Oh, that is an amazing pun. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Because the good part is, I could steal it, I don't want it, right? But also if I draw 1 mana cards, I can just discard them. Yeah. So your Chalice didn't do anything. In fact, it helps me. As much as I'm enjoying winning slowly.
Are you going to play 3 1-drops?
I'm going to... Yeah, I mean eventually. I'm going to tap 3 for a Monastery Mentor. It's a 3 mana 2/2. But is it really? Okay.
It's the card your deck is named after.
It has prowess, so whenever I cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. But also, if I cast a non-creature spell, I will get a 1/1 monk with prowess every single time. You know what's really, really good?
1/1 monks with prowess.
I will play a 0 mana artifact.
That doesn't even get countered. You're not even playing it for the monks.
I'm playing it for the monk.
Monks.
Monks. Oh! Monks! I see a wasteland, which he forgot to tell you. But it destroys non-basic lands. I don't want you to destroy my non-basic lands, so I'm gonna play a Gush. Costs 5 mana, but do I really pay 5 mana in this vintage economy? No. I'm gonna return to islands, and it's free. Also, it's a non-creature spell, so I'm gonna grab into my monk pouch.
A lovely pocket monk.
And put a pocket monk. Now,
you draw 2 cards.
Oh, look at that! I found another 0 mana
monks!
artifact. Well, do I find another monk in my monket pouch? Yes.
Your monket pouch. English is difficult.
I know this looks weird that I'm making so many mentor tokens in my turn, but there is a plan. I know about the powder keg. I know he can destroy all of the tokens and my Moxen, and that's fine. You know he can destroy them. The real kicker is that he needs to also destroy his Chalice of the Void for 0, because that also costs 0 mana. And with that being gone, I can start casting the 1 mana spells again, like the Preordain in my hand, and start making those monks again, but then I'm not restricted by this Chalice of the Void. You?
Because English is so hard, you're running out of ooh. I have a temporary answer. Currently, I'm not doing much, but I will play a powder keg, which will slow things down because it's an artifact that sits on the board, and at the beginning of my upkeep, I may put a fuse counter on powder keg. That's just a regular counter. It doesn't matter because it's not going to happen because you're going to try to steal this. And when you are, I'm going to sacrifice powder keg and destroy each artifact and creature with converted mana cost equal to the fuse counters on powder keg, which will be 0, which unfortunately will kill my Chalice of the Void. But fortunately, will kill most of your board.
Powder keg resolves.
Thank you. I will say hasta la vista to my Chalice of the Void by cracking the powder keg and destroying everything that costs 0. Because I'm under a lot of pressure right now. The annoying thing is that your deck is built to do this. It's called Mentor, because as soon as you have this in play, you can just make infinite creatures. Hopefully, you just have duds. You have Dud Faden, so maybe you can do stuff.
You refuse having artifacts, so I have no chance. But
I keep on putting them to play and then blowing them up.
plus deck fade, and I'll draw 2. And then I'm gonna cast a Preordain, which gives me a monkey. Scry 2. And then I'll draw a card. I'm gonna accept 1 card. And draw it. Because I played a spell, the Mentor got +1/+1, so I'm gonna attack you for 3.
He's a 3/3 now.
I will play a land, and it's your turn.
Unfortunately, my deck is supposed to play out all its artifacts and then try to win once I'm a step ahead. But I'm like 6 steps behind. So it's time for me to start running. All these running shoes in my hand are too expensive. So I'm currently just gonna have to pass over the funky turn and hope the top of my library is extremely kind to me.
It's okay, I promise I'll make it quick.
I'm fine if you don't keep your promise. This is a safe space.
I will +1.
Okay.
Meaning I draw 2 cards. I'm going to discard 2 cards. And then I'm going to play a measly Black Lotus.
It's not the first Black Lotus of this series, but you just played a Black Lotus, my friend. Let's keep a Black Lotus count through the whole series.
Okay.
So that's 1 for the Black Lotus count.
Adds 3 mana of any single color of your choice to your mana pool, then discard it. And by discarding, they meant sacrificing. So I can use it for 1 shot of 3 mana. So this monk can't attack. And those monks got +1/+1. I keep feeling like this game is already mine, so I'm just gonna attack you for 5.
I feel like this might be my last draw, or second to last draw. Let's hope it's good. Should I flip it? What am I looking for? Not this. I'll pass the turn to you.
At the end of turn, I'm gonna tap a blue to repeal my monk. I return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card.
If you can repeal your Black Lotus and then play it. Do you have plans?
I don't want this monk to die. I will get a monk from the repeal, but also, just to show off, I'm gonna force of will my own.
You're just throwing cards away to make monks!
My turn?
Hey, you can pass to yourself. I'll allow it.
I pass. Draw card, plus deck Faden on myself. Draw 2. Discard 2. I'm gonna play a Gush. You saw it before. I will add 2 blue, return it to my hand, but also I will counter it again just to make my monks much bigger. Look,
you've just been doing nothing and it's somehow killing me. That's what I'm supposed to do, Thoralf.
If your opponent doesn't do anything, you have to...
You came here to counter spells.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not giving you any spells to
I'm not
counter.
going to leave without using my counter spell. So all of those get +2/+2.
This gives you monks.
You
it
take
doesn't
16.
matter. Yes, because I've lost this game. Let's go to the next one, but now we're sideboarding. It's time for sideboards, where we bring in new cards in our deck, but take out the ones that are a little bit worse. In this case, I'm only bringing in one card. We've seen that Dak fade in game 1, and we know that he has a lot more. Now, if we play a Colossus on the board, he just steals it and we lose. So we're going to bring in a powerful card that also gets rid of Dak Faden.
We sideboard in every card that names artifact because it's preceded by either counter or destroy, and we are very, very happy with that. Also, there's a rest in peace, and sometimes cards graveyard is actually quite important. If there's a Goblin Welder or if there's a Crucible, he has access to his graveyard, and those locks are really hard to break, so one of rest in peace can't harm.
Thoralf, let's do that thing that you get to do in Vintage, where we'll both pick up our hands and go, wow, these cards are expansive. Are you ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Wow. Actually, my cards aren't, well, yeah, no, that's not true. They're super expensive. No Moxes though, so you know what? Because I'm going first, I'll get to do the thing you do in Magic, where you say no to your hand, and you go for another round. This hand is full of powerful spells, but our deck relies on fast mana to then play those spells ahead of time, and this hand just doesn't have fast mana.
I'm gonna join you. That hand is insane, but unfortunately, it does not have the thing we really, really need the most, Force of Will. Carl starts the game. If he has a workshop and any of the permission spells, or even Metalworker, we are basically toast. We have to consider the matchup we're playing against. We're playing against a deck that makes our cards really expensive and then punishes us for being slow, and we cannot let that happen. My hand was amazing. I think every other scenario I would have kept that, but I couldn't, because I know you're mean.
I try my very best to be nice, but I promise, I'm sorry, it's the decks I play. You see how this hand has a hat? It's rude. It's gonna take off its hat, and it goes to the bottom of the library.
I would just put one card down as well.
So let's see just how mean I am. I will play an artifact that does me damage. Because I'm selfless, I will take the damage instead. This is a Mana Crypt. You can't play it in Commander anymore, but in Vintage, in this world, you can play one. And it taps for 2 mana. It's just like a Soul Ring. But every one of my upkeeps will have to flip a coin, and if I lose the flip, I'll play a land that doesn't play colored spells. This is a Mishra's Workshop. You might have noticed a lot of these decks are called shops decks. That's half of this. You remove Mishra and work, which is what Mishra loves doing the most, so I don't understand.
I love removing work.
Yeah. It taps for 3 colorless mana, but I can only tap that mana for artifacts.
Mana, but you can only spend it for restricted stuff.
It's like a gift card.
Yeah, exactly.
For Karn's Workshop.
Mishra's Workshop.
I said Karn, it's a Karnian slip. How bad am I if I play a pacifist? In the world of Magic, Karn hates hurting people, so much so that although this is a 5 mana 4/4, if it blocks or becomes blocked, it loses all its power and becomes a big old wall with 8 toughness. Is that mean?
Does it hit me for 4 each turn?
It also gives life. For 1 mana, I can turn any non-creature artifact into a creature with power and toughness. Would that be something that a mean person would do, Thoralf?
Will it destroy my Moxen? I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is just perception, you know?
Karn has extremely good marketing.
Very good marketing.
I am done.
Okay, well, this is exactly what I meant when I said we can't keep that hand. Karl played a very big turn 1 threat in Karn, and if I would now have all those Moxen and rely on those Moxen, well, they're just gonna get animated and killed 1 by 1. We do still have a Mox, and we do have a way to cast our Time Walk in the first turn, but then what really happens? You have to always in Magic think further than maybe even the next turns, like what am I going to do with it? And the goal we want to achieve here is to play a Jace to bounce the Karn. This is the only solution we have right now, and that means we want to keep our Mox until at least turn 3 so we can Time Walk into Jace and then slow Karl down. We'll play an island. And since you graciously allowed me to cast my spells for their actual real mana card, I will cast a combo. I look at the top 3 cards of my library, put them back in order, might shuffle, draw a card. I will not shuffle. I will accept those cards as they are. Draw a card. And you made it very unappealing to play my 0 mana card, so I'm gonna pass the turn.
The most fun part of the game. This is like Mario Party. We have a sub game every turn.
Oh.
I will flip. If it comes up on Happy Karl, I don't take any damage. But if it comes up on Sad Karl, I will take 3 damage. Happy Karl, no damage. My Mana Crypt does not hurt me today. I will draw a card. First of all,
The pacifist.
we'll give you a hug for 4. He doesn't know his own strength. We can play either Smokestack or Tanglewire. One of them is way more powerful and is the card my deck is named after. But if I play it early and he counters it, the backup plan is a lot weaker. And then I also have the advantage that if he counters it, it's okay, I play Smokestack. But if he doesn't, Tanglewire taps his permanence and encourages him to play more permanents. And once you have more permanents, this Smokestack is just gonna mop up. I will float 3 mana and then play Wasteland.
That doesn't cost 3 mana.
Oh darn it, why did I play 3 mana then?
And it's not an artifact, you silly goose.
Well, might as well. Why have the 3 mana floating? I'll play this card called Tanglewire. Are you gonna counter it or can I read it?
You may read it.
Fading 4 is an old ability that is on old Magic cards with old borders on them. This artifact comes into play with 4 fade counters. And at the beginning of my upkeep, I remove a fade counter, and when I can't, so when it has 0 and it goes to do this, I sacrifice it. In the meantime, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player taps an untapped artifact, creature, or land they control for each fade counter and Tanglewire. So first it's 4, then it's 3, then it's 2, then it's 1, then it's a little bit of a joke. But for now, you're gonna have to tap 4 permanents on your upkeep.
I have 1 island.
Oh, you can tap it.
Can I tap it 4 times? 1, 2, 3, 4?
No, it's just a 360.
I do not have access to it this turn. I will draw the card I already know about. Unfortunately, you forced my hands, which is not the cool kind of force, but I will fetch it.
What will you do with it?
Fetch. Lose 1 life.
Okay, I'm done. This is gonna get long.
I will get a volcanic island and then use it for blue to cast a preordained scry 2, draw a card.
You keep digging.
I don't particularly care about your hand, so I'm gonna put those to the bottom. You may do what you want. I'll draw a card. It's your turn.
First of all, we'll flip, then we'll tap some stuff.
Alright.
Happy or sad, Carl? Let's find out.
Sad!
No, happy! It was close though. What happens if it just gets stuck like this?
You take 20 damage.
I agree. Then, I have the 2 Tanglewire triggers. First one is going to remove a fade counter from it, going to 3. Now that has 3 fade counters, I have to tap 3 permanents. It'll be this one, and this one. And then I go into the best part of my turn, which is the draw step. I'm going to play a land, and I'm going to tap it to activate Karn's ability, turning this Tanglewire into a 3/3 artifact creature until the end of my turn. Take 7, my friend. Shpunk, shpunk.
Oh.
And now that I have my solitaire board developed, I'm going to pass the turn to you. Would you like to see the neat trick that happens on your upkeep?
Pretty neat. Tap 2. I don't even have 3. You're just overpaying. I'll play my land for turn, which makes blue and red. I will also play a Mox Jet. Ooh. Thank you. Which makes a black mana. And I will also cast a Time Walk. Now here's the really most annoying stuff. Time Walk is really bad against Tanglewire.
Would you like to take your extra turn?
I would like to. In my upkeep.
Would you like to tap 3 permanents? Now you can pay!
Yes.
I accept.
Yes, thank you. I will, before Tanglewire resolves, play a Dig Through Time.
Ooh,
which I can pay for 4 mana and exiling 4 cards. I look at the top 7 cards of my library, put 2 of them in my hand, and the rest on the bottom. So you say there's a chance. Take those 2. Put the rest away.
Okay.
Because I don't need them. Then, have my regular draw step. Fun! I will play my second land for the second turn. And since I don't really enjoy Karn destroying my Mox or animating a Tanglewire, I will tap a blue to cast my cycle card, a Steel Sabotage.
Ah, how rude!
Counters target artifact, which is not relevant right now, but it also returns target artifact to its owner's hand.
First, many things happen on my upkeep.
Yay!
My Tanglewire goes down to 2, and then I must tap 2 permanents, which will be this one and this one.
Okay.
And now, I've been so ahead, I forget what it's like to feel pain. A little bit like that. Ooh! That hurt.
How does it feel?
Painful.
Wait, didn't you say you enjoy the pain? You're gracious?
Okay, well you slowed down your death. So I'm gonna pay 5, and I'm gonna play Karn again. And I know you drew a lot of cards, so let's see if you drew a Force of Will and a blue one. Does it resolve?
Yes, sir.
Phew, hit the table. Now you're in trouble. I'm going to sacrifice this Wasteland, which is a land that, if I sacrifice it, I can destroy a non-basic land. And this is the only one that gives you black. Now I'm going to play the Mox Jet, and he's going to see another Mox Jet, and he's going to go, oh no! Is that my twin? It's like the Spider-Man thing. Activate the Karn ability, which will turn this into a creature. You're welcome.
Yeah, and its power and toughness equal to the mana cost, which unfortunately is 0/0.
Now that I'm back to basically the board I had the turn before, I'm going to pass the turn to you, but now you'll have to tap 2 permanents.
I'm going to tap 2 mana and hope for the best.
Okay. Is that
Oh, that's very good.
the best?
It's a fetch land. I will use it. I will get a Tundra and then play my own mana crypt And then for 4 mana, which I saved up for so long, I'm gonna cast a Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Back in 2015, when your deck was probably the best deck in Vintage, this was a good Magic card.
Yes, it's still fine because for +2, I can look at target player's library. For 0, I can brainstorm. For -1, which I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna return target creature to its owner's hand.
Karn's just doing somersaults by now.
And for -12, I can win the game, but it has 2 counters, so your turn.
I'm gonna untap, and then 2 things happen once again. Tango Wire is gonna go to 1, and I will tap my Mox Jet. Now I'm gonna flip to see if I take 3 damage. I will. If you play out this game fast enough and you keep on bouncing my Karn, I will eventually, let's lock out this game. I'm gonna play another Mishra's Workshop.
Okay.
It's not legendary.
They're not legendary.
So they collectively can tap for 6, and I'll have 1 fleeting mana that I can use to play artifact spells. Do you want to bounce him again next turn? I feel like that would be a fun gameplay experience. And with the floating mana, I'm going to play a Metal Worker. It's a 1/2. I tap it and do a lot of stuff. I am not going to. And then I'm going to turn this Tangle Wire into creature, and as a last act of resistance, it's going to plank Jace in the face.
Aw, wait, how?
So Karn took this wire and just threw it in Jace's face. Eat your spaghetti.
I don't want to judge, but that really doesn't sound like a peacemaker at all.
I will pass the turn to you. I forgot to make you a little card. So if it's sad, Carl, that's because you didn't take 3 damage. If it's happy, Carl, then you took 3 damage. Do you want to flip it?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to flip it from now on.
Oh, you're very good at it.
Oh!
No,
I
you're
knew
very bad at
close
it.
to lethal.
Aw.
Would you like to take your turn after tapping a single permanent?
Carl, you're presenting a lot of pressure, and I don't have much time.
Some would call it lethal.
So I'm gonna tap the Mana Crypt
To the Tangle Wire?
with the Tangle Wire, because I need the blue mana. I will draw a card. Ironic. I will cast a Dick turn. I have 6 cards.
Another one. You have to find like 2 steel sabotages.
I will look at the top 7, take 2 again. Sorry. That was my desperate noise. I would pick 2.
So after you eat Indian food, are you also desperate? Because that's also what you sound like.
I would just actually take 2 mana and cast a wear on your card, meaning I destroy target artifact. I could also destroy an enchantment, but you have none.
Okay, let's have a fast turn. I'm going to remove the last counter of my Tangle Wire.
Yes, now it stays on the
tap.
battlefield for 1 more turn.
0 permanents. I'm also going to flip to see if I take another 3. I don't. I'll draw a card. I will attack you for 1 single point of damage.
Down to 3.
And we're going to close out this game. I'm going to play Crucible of Worlds. It just allows me to play lands from my graveyard. And I'm going to gradually start shutting down your resources as you take 1 and or 3 per turn.
Okay.
I will use this Wasteland that I played again from the graveyard. Cut you off from white.
Before that happens, I'm gonna play a Gush.
Ooh, you're going to draw some cards.
Yes, instead of you destroying it, I will take them to my hand. I will draw 2 cards.
It's okay, it'll be back next turn. And now, are you ready to seal your fate?
I think I only need to survive about 2 or 3 times.
Mr. Mathematician, can you calculate the percentages of that?
1 in 8. It is 3.
You look like someone who took 3 damage.
I took 3 damage.
Next game. Now remember that the more powerful the format, the more advantage you have when you go first. So this will be an uphill battle. I have to somehow find a way to win despite going second. And this is how you turn the tables in Vintage. You have to outmuscle your opponent as an underdog at least once in the game to break parity.
I really, really want to just make it to the semis again.
You want the Thoralf Show again? Episode 1 was so good. Step number 1 to the Thoralf Show, which I'm going to do my very best to prevent from happening. Are you keeping that hand? Because you're going first this time. I'm going to have to break the serve.
Yes, I will keep.
This is an extremely tough decision. My hand doesn't have a lot going on, but luckily it has 2 Mishra's Workshops, which are pretty cool if I draw some gas, but mostly, if I play my cards out correctly and I try to lead Thoralf into believing that I can bait him, I can get this Goblin Wielder on the board, and we know his deck. He barely has any removal spells. So if this Goblin Wielder sticks, anything I try to play, even if he counters it, I can bring it back into play with the Goblin Wielder. It basically makes me insured against counter spells. So this Sundering Titan, even if he counters it, I still have a backup plan as long as I manage to resolve this Goblin Wielder. So this hand comes with a risk, but it's a risk we are willing to take. Greatness at any cost, my friends. There's a lot of risk involved, but I will keep as well.
I will play an island, and I will play a Mox Sapphire, which is cool because it's an island. Look at this. We can now play a Time Walk, which kind of functions like I just draw a card and play a land, but if I don't draw anything, I can still repeal my own Mox Sapphire, and then even with the fetching, I can cast Dig Through Time as early as turn 3 because we have put so many cards in our graveyard. I will tap those 2 islands to cast a very expensive card. It's a Time Walk, or in this case, just a glorified untapped draw card, like it's cycling 0.
Yeah, draw your card, play your extra land.
Is there anything wrong with it? No.
There's absolutely nothing wrong. I feel like the ceiling could have been a little bit more high.
Yeah, but look at me, I don't need a high ceiling.
That's a good point.
We'll play a land, and
I'll draw a card for turn.
May it be a good one. I need a challenge.
You need a challenge?
Yeah, hit me.
How many counter spells do you have in hand?
4. 5, sorry.
How many cards do you have in hand?
4.
I have doubts.
It's reasonable.
Let's see if you can find out which spell is my bait spell. I'll play Volcanic Island.
Okay, that's not a bait.
Maybe this one is. I'll play a Mox Jet. It's like your Mox Sapphire, but it taps for black.
Only faster.
Would you like to counter it? No. I will tap 1 red for a Goblin Wielder. It's a 1/1 friend.
Alarm bells. It's a very strong card.
Is it the strongest one I'm going to play this turn? Let's find out. It's a 1/1 Goblin. If I tap it, I choose an artifact, put it in the graveyard, and take an artifact from the graveyard, put it into play.
I will let you have it.
Now I'll play a Mox that taps for green.
Okay, you have a lot of mana.
I'll pass a turn.
We'll bounce your Goblin Welder with a repeal.
So it goes back to my hand, and then what do you do?
I'll draw a card. I'll untap and draw. I will play yet another land that looks for a different land. And it's your turn.
I know it says Vintage in the title of this video, and I promise you this is Vintage, the most powerful format in Magic the Gathering.
We do play Moxen.
This is turn 2. Yeah, you're right. I'll play Mishra's Workshop,
So
which
now it's
taps
turn
for
6.
3. Yeah, turn 6. First, I'm going to play my Goblin Wielder again.
Okay.
I'm going to pay 4 mana for a card we haven't seen yet. But this is a card the deck is named after. We always need to do this whenever we play one of those. It's called Smokestack. This deck is called Stax because Smokestack is a 4-mana artifact that I can usually play pretty early on, and during my upkeep, I may put a suit counter on Smokestack. And during each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a permanent for each suit counter on Smokestack. Meaning we're going to sacrifice more and more permanents until we have none.
Okay.
In that case, I'll just let you discover what Smokestack does over the next few turns.
Okay. I will fetch twice. I will get those 2 lands and then tap 4 and exile 4 from my graveyard to cast the Dig Through Time.
Such a powerful card.
Right?
The fact that you can chain them is insane.
Oh, you know what's also insane?
You, before you've drunk coffee?
I will take those 2 cards.
Okay.
Very powerful. Indeed. I'll draw my card. And I think before we do anything, I'm going to tap a Mox and draw 3.
Oh, draw even more cards.
And just to recall, that's, I mean, not only is it now, just to recall, as you might have realized, that draws me 3 cards. 1 mana, 3 cards. I'll draw 3 cards.
That is a full grip.
I will play a Gitaxian Probe. Remember, Gitaxian Probe is now restricted. As you might see, that paying only 2 life to see your opponent's hand and draw a card is quite powerful. That deck can still play 3 of those.
Yeah, your deck is full of restricted cards that you can only play 1 of, but in Vintage you can never actually ban a card. They did so once, and they did a takesies backsies once they just changed the text on it.
Whoa.
That is the reaction you would hope your opponent would say when they see your hand.
That is dangerous. Okay, this is complicated. Our hand is so good. Our position is so good. We are cruising, but unfortunately, Goblin Welder and Sundering Titan is just such a complicated interaction because Sundering Titan does something when it enters and leaves, meaning countering the Sundering Titan doesn't even do anything, right? Because the Goblin Welder can get it back. And then even if I take it, if there's an artifact in my graveyard, he can swap it, there can be lands destroyed. I don't know what happens in the next 3 turns. The biggest part of Magic is planning ahead, and I have just no idea what my board will look like in 2 turns. So how am I gonna play ahead? I don't even know how much land I have. This needs surgical. We need to find every interaction and play against it, and I mean, that's the fun of Vintage, you know, that's awesome because you have to maneuver your way through all of the different possibilities, and hopefully we just have the tools for it. I think it looks good, but it definitely got a lot more complicated. That is threatening. Okay, he is for one reason the greatest thief in the multiverse, because he shows up when you need him. I will cast a deck Faden.
That's the card I don't want to see.
Target player draws 2 cards and discards a card. I think we keep that for later. For now, I would like to have one of your artifacts. And I'm specifically looking at your mana, so please give me a Moxjet.
Okay. I don't think it matters, but I will tap it for black before giving it to you.
Very smart, very smart. He doesn't want me to have the mana. And then I will play my 1 land for turn, which is a volcanic island, and will cast an evoked Ingature straight out of the sideboard. 5 mana, 3/3, destroy target artifact when it comes to play, but you can pay only 1 red mana to evoke it, meaning it will go into the graveyard.
So it enters the graveyard, and it's immediately like, I don't like it here.
Kills the other Mox.
Okay.
So I don't know about your Smokestack deck, because you don't have too many permanents.
So I will untap.
Please?
I will sacrifice as many permanents as I have counters on Smokestack.
0. Oh,
I'll put a counter on Smokestack.
The Tangle Wire trick.
Yes, it's a dangle wire trick, and then I will draw a singular magic card. Now it would be easy to assume that the correct play is to play Triskelion here, because it would get rid of the Dak Faden, and then if Thoralf plays a Mentor, it can also hit down the Mentor. Except Thoralf has a lot of lands, and he drew a lot of cards, and the one resource I cannot fight him on is card advantage. So we are going to have to bottleneck him where we can fight our fight in a fair battle, and that's in mana. So we are going to play the Sundering Titan. If it does resolve, we get to cut him down to a tiny amount of lands. But if he counters it, that's okay. Next turn we can play the Triskelion, still get rid of the Dak Faden because I'll have gone up to 2, but then we can swap it for the Sundering Title and go back to game plan number 1. So kind of like you saw on the flip card, you're going to see me be very sad, but then I'll be very happy. I'm going to play Mishra's Workshop. Happy, sad, happy.
Wait, are you sad about it?
The Mishra's Workshop, I'm happy. What I'm sad about is I'm going to have to downgrade a little bit. I'm going to tap my Goblin Wielder, which will allow me to choose a permanent I own and a permanent in my graveyard and swap them.
I'm not sure it's considered a downgrade, trading something that costs like 32.
For 1,000? Well, the 4 mana to the 0 mana stings a little bit, but you know what doesn't?
Bees.
You name the one thing that stings. I'll tap for 6, and then I'll tap for 2, and I will do the counterspell check. I'll attempt to cast a Sundering Titan. You saw it in my hand last turn.
I do not have a counterspell, so you may read what it might do once it enters, please.
It's a 7/10, so first of all, it whacks you in the face 3 times, you lose the game. Secondly, when Sundering Titan enters, I choose a land of each basic land type and then destroy those lands. It does the same once it leaves. There are 5 land types in Magic: Forest, Plains, Mountain, Island, Swamp.
Waste?
It's a basic land, not a basic land type. I have to choose one of each of those types.
Okay.
For example, that's an Island Mountain. This is a Plains Island.
So let's say, for example, if the only one with a mountain in play would be you, what happens?
I would unfortunately have to destroy my mountain. That's okay, I have a 7/10 Colossus in play.
You do. I will cast a Gush, return 2 islands, mountain islands, to my hand. And that means I can draw 2 cards, and now...
Well, it seems like it's a clever play, but what happens here is I'll take a Plains, I'll take an Island, and I'll take a Mountain, and you are left with only 2 singular mana next turn, and you're facing down a Sundering Titan. It has Titan in the name. But you do you, you know?
I do me.
Yes, it is you.
Draw for turn. First thing you do. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. I could target you, but that would be bad, so we don't do it here. Luckily, I have so many lands now I can discard. I will discard 2 fetch lands because they're really just dealing me damage for no reason. I will play a Mox Ruby, and now with all of those and no lands, I can cast a replacement deck Faden.
Another one!
Goes to 3. Original Faden says bye-bye, and new Faden says I want that because it's cool. And
that is powerful. And are you going to play any lands, Thoralf?
I will play land, yes, but it's not one that you can destroy, so I will play a fetch land.
Okay. Well, the roles have reversed, it seems.
I remember you saying that Sundering Titan kills very quickly. So
I feel like I was about to hit you with a hammer, and then you're like, wait, it's my hammer. And I'm like, no, I'm holding the hammer. And they're like, no.
The old story of...
It's a classic tale.
Yes.
I will play a Wasteland.
Okay.
It's a land that destroys a non-basic land. And then I will do something fun. I will pay 6 with my Mishra's Workshops and play a Triskelion. Some would know it now as Walking Ballista, which is its younger sibling that you know was like a lot better in school, so is a lot more successful now. Triskelion enters with 3+1/+1 counters on it, but it starts as a 1/1, so it makes it a 4/4.
Yes.
And at any point I can remove one of the counters and deal 1 damage to any target. Immediately shoot down Dak Faden so it dies. I don't want you drawing discarding. Just pass the turn over to you.
Okay, let's start the game by banging you for 7.
I'll show you how tough I am. Give me 7.
Okay, you take 7. And then I will tap a single blue mana to cast a Preordain. Scry 2, draw a card. I do not want the 4th Mox, I think. We're good. I play my land for this turn.
Okay.
Your turn.
End of turn. I will deal you a single damage.
Ow.
I will also deal you another damage. I am going to switch this Triskelion with the Smokestack in my graveyard.
I will wear your Triskelion.
How? Fashion.
Fashion, yes. I'm gonna destroy it.
Okay, and what does wear do?
It destroys it.
Thank you very much.
I can also tear it to destroy an enchantment.
The switch fizzles,
Okay.
and I'm going to go draw a card.
Yeah.
First of all, you have Force of Wolves in your deck. Let's make sure you need to pay full price for them, which is, in this case, free. I didn't think out the analogy. I'm going to play a Trinisphere. It's an artifact. As long as it's untapped, which you can sometimes do cool things with, but in this case, I will not. All spells that would cost less than 3 cost 3. So you can't play any 0 mana spells, your 1 mana spells, your cost reduction spells, your dig through time would cost 3.
1 card left.
1 card left.
How good is it?
It's another Trinisphere. If you knew the yeah, you just saw through my lie because that card is restricted.
I will give you the satisfaction of not doing anything in your turn. It resolves. I cannot cast anything anymore.
You're right, Thoralf. You have given the satisfaction of paying 3 whole mana for my Powder Keg. Because at the beginning of my upkeep, I may put a fuse counter on Powder Keg, but I won't. Because if I tap it, I destroy each artifact and creature with converted mana cost equal to the amount of counters, and it currently is 0. So first of all, I regret my trade. Luckily, I got a return policy. I'm going to attempt to tap Goblin Wheeler, swap Mox Emerald with Smokestack. I have regrets.
Okay, so you're gonna put a counter on it again to swap it again, or is it this time for real?
No, we're just going to keep on doing this every turn. So far, I think it's very fun.
It's a good deck. It's just...
Smokestack enters the battlefield again, currently has no counters. Nothing happens. I am then going to finally crack this Powder Keg and destroy everything with converting mana cost 0.
That is annoying.
And now because everything costs 3, I'm going to make sure you never get to 3 mana. I would like to destroy your volcanic island with my wasteland.
To be honest, this is the real problem, yeah.
I'm going to pass a turn.
I still have a 7/10.
That you do.
I drew something I can't cast.
Because everything costs 3. You can still attack me for 7 though.
Okay, next turn you're dead. I play land. Go.
Sacrifice 0 permanents to Smokestack. I will put a counter on Smokestack.
And now you want to switch it back.
Yes, that was what I'm good to do. Now,
Here.
I have the 7 most annoying words in Magic the Gathering. You can complete it. I have an action on
Your upkeep.
Jeopardy! You're the winner! I have 2 things. First of all, Smokestack is going to go on the stack, but before, in response to the Smokestack abilities, where you will have to sacrifice a permanent, I will tap my Goblin Wielder. Because I want to go get my Mox Jet and switch it from it. No. I'm going to target your Sundering Titan.
Okay.
Because a lot of people forget about this, but Goblin Wielder says choose target artifact a player controls, not just me.
Okay.
And you currently have an artifact I would like in my graveyard.
And what do I get in return?
Like a Mox or something nice.
Like exactly a Mox. Which one?
Which one goes with your eyes? Oh, I think this one will look great on you.
Okay.
So, I would like to swap the Sundering Titan with this Mox.
That will happen. For a trade that I'm doing, you holding my cards. I don't know.
They call this an offer you can't refuse.
Dude, I didn't find that.
And when Sundering Titan leaves the battlefield, as it did when it arrived, I also get to destroy an island and a mountain.
It's still my trigger. I have to choose. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, would you like to destroy an island or a mountain, Thoralf? I told you this deck was a little bit annoying.
This is like getting Mindslaver. Only I'm not getting Mindslaver. This is just all happening to me. Yes, before that happens, I will make a red mana and then it's destroyed. But before we leave my upkeep, because I need that red mana, I'm gonna fetch.
Okay.
I'm gonna get an island and then for 3 mana.
Because you can pay 3 for things.
Yes, I'm gonna wear this Trinis.
Okay, unfortunately, the Trinisphere is dead. And now, you sacrifice an artifact to Smokestack.
Didn't I lose enough this turn? You're saying I'm gonna lose my lands anyway to your Sundering Titan, right?
You will.
So,
I appreciate it.
okay, can I draw now? Or
Yes,
is there
yes.
more stuff I need to do?
We're done.
Well, I'm gonna play a Underground Sea. And then for the blue, I cast a Periodic.
Because now you can play spells for 1.
Yay! Oh, so close. I pretty much need a Black Lotus or bust. I'm gonna look for it. Put those down. Draw a card. Black Lotus. So it's your turn.
My Sundering Titan is my graveyard, and I need an artifact. So I'm going to sacrifice a Mistbor's Workshop to the Smokestack trigger, and put this up to 2.
Oh yeah.
Then I'll draw a card for turn. Ooh, look, an artifact. Well, I heard you like having permanents, so let's make you have not that. I will play a metalworker, and then...
Wait. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm still in this game, and I might counter it.
Are you countering my metalworker?
I don't know. Does it help me? Yeah, I'll force it, you know. I will counter it.
My metalworker.
Exile, dig through time. I don't know. I won't cast anything again this turn. At least I'm getting pedic damage.
Okay, I have my eye on 2 of your permanents as I pass the turn.
Can I sacrifice them, or are those okay for you?
You may make your decision.
Do you want a
which
sample
2
of my
artifacts to sacrifice?
Are those tasty enough? Okay, Carl?
Yes.
I have achieved total serenity. Is there a prize?
Yes, you got a high five.
Yay!
Yay! Is it the end of your turn?
I draw a card.
Oh, you draw a card? Yeah, it's not even the start of your turn.
Okay. Yes, it's the end of my turn.
I feel bad.
This is a trade.
Yes,
You and me on the
are
same
right.
page.
This is a trade. I will trade this Sundering Titan for a Smokestack.
There's a certain discrepancy between what I'm sacrificing.
Welcome to old magic. Wasn't it fun? I'll go into my turn. Oh, I have no Smokestack trigger. So I will just go ahead and hit you for 7. I would like to pass the turn to you.
Carl, as an editor, is this board state clean enough for you, or should I?
It's wonderful. All the visual real estate.
I did not draw a land, so it's your turn.
Let's make this fast.
Give me the
I
honor.
will untap.
Yes.
I will draw. I will attack you for another 7 damage.
Well done. That is
I
amazing.
made it. Somehow I won when I was on the play, and it just took destroying everything. This does mean that if we face again, it will be in the finals.
I really hope not. For no particular.
Weren't you having fun this game, Thoralf? Good luck in the semifinals.